You're watching Killian Cougar Baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network. Baseball fans, welcome to Killian Cougar Baseball Field for some fall baseball brought to you by the Florida Sports Programming Network. And we're at Cougar Field. We have a fall matchup between the home team, the Killian Cougars, and the Keys Gate Knights. Florida Sports Programming Network will be bringing you live action from Cougar Field. We're about ready to get underway. The Killian Cougars have 2 wins and 2 losses on this fall season. They started off with 2 quick wins over ABF and Matter Lakes, and they dropped one to Doral Academy and to South Ridge. So they're looking to get their heads above 500 against this team from Keysgate that is led by Leo, the manager for the Knights. Chris Leon in his second year as a manager for the Cougars of Miami Killian High School. His assistant coach has decades of baseball knowledge, and he'll definitely be an asset to this team. It's Abel Alonso. He was at Florida Christian for over 25 years, and now he's Chris Leon's assistant here at Killian. We're about ready to get underway with some fall baseball. I want to mention Midway Sports celebrating 50 years in the sporting goods industry. Take a look at those shoes, those Harper Pro baseball cleats or something else. If you're more of a Nike throwback, we have the Jordan Mids and the Jordan Retro MCSs are all available at Midway Sports and MidwaySports.com. MidwaySports.com will be bringing you the post-game show with the player or players of the game right at the conclusion of the game. I'm Uncle Muggs for the Florida Sports Programming Network. We'll be bringing you all the action here, and you can watch it on our YouTube channel. And here come the Cougars. On the mound for the Cougars today is the senior right-hander, Zach Fernandez. And he's been almost flawless this fall. He pitched 2 great innings against ABF, came back and had 2 shutdown innings against Doral. And if the Cougars of Miami Killian High School plan to go far, it's going to be behind the arm of Zachary Fernandez. And if I'll tell you, if you wanted to build the starting pitcher, first you need a 6'2" frame, about 225 pounds, a competitor. He feels comfortable on the mound, and he's got a college arm at a high school level, a very live fastball, good control, great competitor. And behind the plate for him today is Jean Michael Cueto. It's October 1st. It's in Kendall. The wind's coming in out of almost center field. It's a light breeze. It's not as hot as it usually is in the summer. So fall is starting to sneak around the corner here at Killian and trying to show his face here for a fall game. Fernandez had 5 wins last year. He led the team. Led the team in strikeouts. He's going to work a fastball. He's going to mix in a curveball, slider when he gets ahead in the count. And we are about to get ready here in Cougar Field. A few more warm-up pitches. Like I mentioned, Cueto's behind the plate. Chase Martinez is playing first base today. Eddie Naranjo's at second. Aiden is at shortstop. Ryan Yamblis is at third. EJ Ethan Jones is in left field. Zorro's in center field. And Phoenix Medina is playing right field. Again, this is a fall game. We're at Cougar Field, and it's time for some fall baseball. So the Keysgate Charter Knights will send up 13 batters. Of course, only 9 of them can play in the field. Strike one to Luis Aguilar. So they're going to start off with 4 extra hitters. And then they'll have some position players after the 4th batter. This is Luis Aguilar, the first batter for the Knights. He swings at a high fastball for strike 2. Fernandez is quickly ahead of the batter here. Nothing's changed. He's had a great fall so far. I don't expect anything else, but a lot of strikes. Good command of the pitches. Great mechanics by Fernandez. He'll be traveling next week. He'll visit a couple universities. They'll be lucky to have him. Here's the 0-2, and that gets away from Cueto. All right, Gian Michaels still learning that position back there in the catcher. We still have all of fall if the Cougars want to count on him to maybe back up the catcher. And there's a lazy pop fly, a little flare hit behind second base. The right fielder comes in, and Phoenix Medina makes the play for the first out here in the first inning. Four pitches, and that's going to bring up another extra hitter for the Knights. And this is Omar Medina from the right side. So it's going to be a righty on righty matchup with 1 out in the top of the first. Fernandez kicks and he fires, and that's a low fastball for ball 1. Last outing, Fernandez then gave up 2 hits, no runs to Doral Academy. And here's Mena, and he hits one almost to the same place, but this time it's Eddie coming back and making the play. The second baseman, Eddie Naranjo, for the second out. Fernandez is making quick work of the Knights. He's only thrown 7 pitches so far. 2 outs. That's going to bring up Franco Alonso, another extra hitter for the Knights. Again, they're batting 13 players. You can do that here in the fall. Alonso's a big boy. The senior, Zach Fernandez, shakes off Cueto a couple times, and they finally come to a sign that they can agree on, and it's a fastball down the middle. That was pretty easy to call. Put down one finger and have the senior just pump back and throw strikes. He wastes no time, and he kicks again, deals in another fastball that could have been a changeup, but falls in there for a strike, and quickly ahead of the batter, Alonso. And Fernandez can retire him here in order with another strike here in the top of the first. And there's one hit off the nub right by the mound. Come on, the third baseman tries to grab it. Yambas in it, bare hands. And I'm going to say that's going to be an infield hit, even though he was sawed off at the plate. But sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And Alonso was lucky there with an infield hit. Yambas tried to make a play on it bare hand, couldn't come up with it clean. And there's 2 away here at the top of the first inning. And Eric Alvarez comes to bat for the Knights. And he'll be followed by Romero Martinez. So ball 1 is taken. Alvarez. Alonso's on first with an infield hit. Barely got by Fernandez on the mound. I don't think Alonso's a threat to steal. And there's a fastball, and it's lifted in deep left center field. Ethan Jones goes back. He turns his back. It's over his head. Alonso's coming around third. They're waving him in. The cutoff by Zorro. They hold him up, and he goes back to the base. And that's going to be a 2-out double by Eric Alvarez. Nobody scores. EJ got turned around on that one, started heading for the fence. And that ball dropped in behind him. And the Knights are threatening here in the top of the first. That's going to bring up Romero Martinez. He's the left fielder for the Knights, and he has a chance with a base hit here to put the Knights ahead 2-0 early in this fall game. Fernandez kicks and fires a fastball down the middle. All right, we're going to need a strikeout here to get out of this inning without any damage. Fernandez from the stretch, the senior, takes a look at the runner on second, Alvarez, and he fires another fastball, and it's swung on and missed by Martinez. And again, there's 2 strikes, so quickly ahead. Let's see if he can put him away here. Fernandez comes to the waist, takes a peek at the runners, and he kicks and he fires to Cueto, and that's strike 3, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. With 1 hit, actually 2 hits, the Knights leave 2 runners on, and we'll be right back with more Killian Cougar baseball right here on the Florida Sports Programming Network.
You're watching Killian Cougar baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network.
Welcome back to Killian Cougar Field, where the Killian Cougars are playing fall baseball. They're going up against the Knights of Keysgate, and on the mound for the Keysgate Knights is Anthony Hernandez, and he will be facing a strong and gritty Cougar lineup. First batter is Antonio Ledesma. Ledesma will lead it off for the Cougars here in the bottom of the first. So Ledesma will be followed by the shortstop Aiden. And then it's Jonathan Acosta, who is the DH. And Ryan Yamblas will bat 4th, play 3rd. Chase Martinez will bat 5th. Michael Cueto's behind the plate. Phoenix Medina's in right field. Ethan Jones is in left. And Eddie is in right field. Okay, they call him Zorro. Anthony Ledesma. He's playing left field today, coming in from the left side. Don't know much about Anthony Hernandez. We'll take a peek at him. Beautiful October afternoon. The wind is coming in from dead center field at about 10 miles an hour, so it's going to have to be a big poke to get out of here. Hernandez's first pitch is a high fastball to Ledesma. Zorro playing left field today. You'll find him in center field. Takes strike 1 without swinging. Brings the count to 1-1. Hernandez is coming from the stretch, and he kicks and he fires a nice pitch there. Fastball inside. Ledesma took that one. Again, Ledesma from the left side. Hernandez from the stretch. He kicks and he deals one in the dirt, and he gets by Albert Franco. Actually, it hit Ledesma, so that'll put a Cougar on first base with nobody out. That's going to bring up Aiden, who's playing shortstop today for the Cougars. Haven't seen an at-bat yet from Aiden. Big lead from Zorro on first base. Aiden wearing number 12 from the right side. And that one slowly hit grounder to third, the first base. He fires and goes to the shortstop, who covers, and back to first. And he got him for a double play. Aiden hits to a 3-6-3 double play for 2 outs here for Hernandez after he hit the first batter. He wipes him off the bases, and it's going to bring up the designated hitter for the Cougars. He's left-handed. His name's Jonathan Acosta. Slowly hit grounder to third base. I didn't think he was going to be able to throw it to shortstop that was covering the bag, and then back to first. And just got Aiden by a step. That fastball's high from Hernandez for a ball. Bermuda's making a good play. The ball was slowly hit right at him. And that ball swung on, and it's hit into short right center field. Ortiz is coming over, and he makes the play to end the inning, ranging to his right. So we got one hit batter and nobody left on base for the Cougars. And we'll be right back with more Killian Cougar Fall Baseball right here on the Florida Sports Programming Network. Welcome back to Killian Cougar Field for some fall baseball. Top of the second inning. I'm Uncle Muggs for the Florida Sports Programming Network, bringing you fall baseball, brought to you by Aetna, is one of the proud sponsors here of the Killian Cougars. And of course, we want to mention Sports Grill and their special grilled wings, established in 1987, known for good food, good drink, and good friends. Our friends at Sports Grill down the street. And if you're looking for a good lawyer, these are your attorneys. Since 1963, it's Wolfson and Leon, representing accident and injury victims. And they're all sponsors of the Killian Cougars baseball. Zach Fernandez, the senior, had one strikeout in the first inning. Then there was an infield hit in a double, and he manages to get out of that inning without any damage done. This is going to bring up Jesus Salazar, who is the third baseman for the Keys Gate Knights, and he'll be hitting from the right side. And there's the senior, Zach Fernandez. The Cougars are going to need to rely on him if they want to have not only a good season, but if they want to go far in the new 3A District 16 that they belong to. And that ball's low, but it's called a strike. Salazar, the third baseman for the Knights. Fernandez is coming from the full windup. He kicks and he fires to Cueto, and that's a strike, a fastball. He's had excellent command of his pitches the entire fall in his 3 outings. Nothing different from last year. And there's another strike, and a called strike 3. Caught him looking. The umpire pulled the trigger on him. That's going to bring up Aiden Carralero, the DH for the Keys Gate Knights, batting from the right side. He'll be facing Fernandez from the Cougars. Chase is playing first. Eddie Naranjo's at second. Aiden's at shortstop. Ryan Yambles is at third. They might switch. Eddie, Aiden, and Ryan, they might switch positions, but they'll keep their same place in the batting order. E.J. Zorro and Phoenix are in the outfield, and John Michael's behind the plate. And that ball is high. 1 out here at the top of the second inning. And that ball's taken for a strike, another fastball. Fernandez showing great command of the fastball today. Hasn't had to throw many off-speed pitches. The Charter Knights can't keep up with him. Why change? There's another fastball, and it's fouled away at the plate. Cueto looks around, but it rolls behind him. 2 strikes on Aiden Carralero. He's the DH for the Knights. One ball, 2 strikes the count. the top of the second inning. And we're at Cougar Field for some fall baseball. The 2-2 Killian Cougars. They need a win today to bounce back and get out of that 2-game funk that they're in. Started the season with 2 quick wins over ABF. And there's a ground ball hit to Naranjo at second. He slides to his left, picks it up, and he fires to Chase Martinez at first for the second out of the inning. Slowly hit ground ball. I tell you, the only ball they've hit hard was Eric Alvarez, who I think he caught under it a little bit, and it sailed over EJ's head. And it's 2 outs now. Top of the second inning, and this is Carlos Infante. Infante's playing center field. Zach Fernandez in control, and when he got in trouble, he was able to get out of trouble. An infield hit and a double, both with 2 strikes. Nice fastball, and that's turned on foul by Infante. Foul down the third base line. Yambas didn't even bother going after it. It was so foul, and that's going to be a big strike. So 2 strikes and 2 outs. No one on. Top of the second inning. There's an off-speed pitch, and that's turned on. Yambas catches it on the bounce. He fires and he throws high. Chase Martinez goes back, and he goes into the dugout. That's going to be a definite throwing error on Yambas. Never had a chance. That ball just sailed right over Chase. And with 2 outs, Fernandez is not too happy about that. We could have been out of the inning here. So he's going to bring up the first baseman, Joe Bermudez. With a man on second and 2 outs. The Knights are threatening once again to put something on the board. Naranjo coming in to cover the runner on second. Carlos Infante, there he is covering him again. Fernandez takes a peek, looks back at home. A little cat mouse, and there's a fastball, and it's hit up the middle to center field. Here comes Zorro. Zorro plays it on 2 bounce. The lefty comes up, and he fires through the plate. Gueto puts a tag on him, and he's safe. He's safe at home. He's safe at home, says the home plate umpire. So Bermudez brings in 1. With the error, Infante scores, and a bang-bang play at the plate. A decent throw by Zorro in center field. And that's going to give Keysgate the early lead with nobody out. It's going to bring us Chris Sierra. Chris is the shortstop. And with 2 out and Bermudez on second because of throwing error going into the dugout, the Knights still have a runner in scoring position. Fernandez kicks, and a high fastball taken by Sierra for ball 1. Fernandez is not going to get rattled. He's just got to throw a few extra pitches. And there's a strike that's been called so far all day, the low fastball. That evens the count 1-1. Naranjo's playing up. Going to get the runner at second, which is Joe Bermudez. There's a ball low and outside. Fernandez really wanted that one. Infante got on by an error, which would have been the second out of the inning. I mean, the last out of the inning. And then Bermudez. There's an old saying that after an error, there's usually a hit, and it happened in this case when Llambas threw high to Martinez at first, causing Infante to get the second, and then later on Bermudez brought him in with an RBI. And now batting is Chris Sierra. 2 strikes and 2 balls with 2 outs. Sierra calls time at the plate, and it's given to him by home plate umpire. We're in the top of the second inning at Cougar Field for fall baseball, brought to you by the Florida Sports Programming Network. The senior Zach Fernandez is on the mound. He has a runner on second. He fires that one in the dirt, gets by Cueto. Cueto turns around, and Sierra goes to third on a wild pitch, or pass ball. So after having a lot of control, Fernandez is having a little trouble getting it over the plate now. But he can strike out Sierra here and get out of the inning. And there's a fastball, and it's lifted to right field. Chase Martinez gives it a chance, goes back a couple feet, and he makes the third out of the inning. And we go to the bottom of the second inning, and it's going to bring up Llambas, Chase Martinez, and John Michael Cueto for the Cougars. We'll be right back with more fall baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network.
You're watching Killian Cougar Baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network.
Welcome back to Killian Cougar Field. It's Uncle Muggs here for the Florida Sports Programming Network. We're bringing you Killian Cougar fall baseball on a beautiful afternoon. Not as much humidity. Fall is starting to show his face here in Kendall, and we're feeling it here at Cougar Field. It's turned out to be a beautiful afternoon. We have a light breeze coming in from right center field. And due up for the Cougars, it's Ryan Llambas, the third baseman, Chase Martinez, and Jean-Michael Cueto, the catcher, are all coming up for the Cougars, who are down 1 run to their rival Knights of Keys Gate Charter. Llambas had an error with 2 outs in that previous inning that led to a Knights run. The sun is starting to set here behind my back. Got to move some equipment. Still kind of warm. Okay, Anthony Hernandez is still on the bump for the Knights of Keys Gate Charter. And he's facing Ryan Llambas from the right side for the Killian Cougars. Hernandez kicks, and a fastball swung on and missed by Llambas. Good fastball from Hernandez, Anthony Hernandez. He pitches from the stretch. And that was an off-speed pitch, and it's blocked by Alberto Franco, but it was a ball. There was some bite to that pitch. If he can control that and get it over the plate, I can see that being an effective pitch. Another fastball swung on and missed by Llambas. A little late on that. Hernandez comes to the waist. Chase Martinez is on deck, and that slider is called strike 3. Llambas is caught looking. That's going to bring up Chase Martinez, the first baseman. Bottom of the second inning, and there's 1 out. 1 out for the Cougars. Martinez from the right side. Big boy wearing number 25. It's Martinez against the right-hander Hernandez, and throws that one low for ball 1. It's 1 out, and Hernandez takes his sign. And Martinez takes a strike called. Look, another like off-speed pitch. Chase wearing number 25, big right-hander, swings and fouls one back on the net. It's one ball, two strikes to Chase with one out. Bottom of the second inning rather. And he swung a low one away. All right. 2 outs now for the Cougars, and that's going to bring up the catcher, number 17 from the left side, Michael Cueto. Good hitter, transfer from Belém. Take strike one with 2 outs. Fastball from Hernandez is lifted into right field, but playable by Abraham Ortiz. He drifts back 5 steps, and it's a long out for Cueto, and that's going to end the inning. As we move to the top of the 3rd inning, it's still Keys Gate Charter 1, your hometown Killian Cougars 0. We'll be right back on the Florida Sports Programming Network.
You're watching Killian Cougar Baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network.
Welcome back to Killian Cougar Field. It's the top of the 3rd inning. Some fall baseball here. We have Zach Fernandez, the senior, going out for his 3rd inning of work. 1 unearned run for the Knights. And it was a crazy inning. Started off with a strikeout, ground ball, and then with 2 strikes, an error from the 3rd baseman, and a base hit. And then finally a strikeout, and they got out of the inning with just 1 run. This is going to bring up Albert Franco, Abraham Ortiz, and J.P. Luna. And if somebody gets up, then we'll see the leadoff batter once again coming up for the Knights. All right, Zach Fernandez, the senior who led this team with 5 wins last year. He's had an almost perfect fall so far. He's been dominant on the mound, showing a live fastball. It's 1-0 in the top of the 3rd inning. Fernandez from the windup, swung on by Franco. Strike 1. Another senior not playing today, Kendry Blanco. They're going to need him to have a great season, much like he did last year. Fernandez comes hard. That one pops out of Cueto's mitt, but it's strike 2 to the batter, Albert Franco. He's the catcher for the Knights. 2 quick strikes. Fernandez deals, and there's an off-speed pitch a little high and away. Taken for a ball by the catcher for the Knights. Alberto Franco. Fernandez deals, and now a little low and away. Almost got Franco to chase. And it's 2-2 here. Top of the third inning. Fernandez kicks and fires, and the count goes full to the night catcher, Albert Franco. This is the, if you want to call it wild, I don't know why you would call it wild, but Fernandez has been nothing but in control. And there's a strike called. Strike looking to Franco for the first out here of the third inning. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Abraham Ortiz, for the Knights of Keys Gate Charter. Zach looking to get ahead here in the count. He does with a fastball check swing and called a strike. One out here in the top of the third inning. It's a 1-0 ball game in favor of Keys Gate. Unearned run and swung on a high, what looked to be maybe a changeup, a high changeup or a slider from Fernandez. Maybe it's something he's been working on. Quick 2 strikes. Fernandez kicks and throws, and that one gets by Cueto. Never had a chance. No harm done. One ball and 2 strikes to the right fielder, Abraham Ortiz. Fernandez taking his time. Cueto going through the sign. John Michael new to the position. Came over from Beleng, and there's a fastball taken for strike 3 looking by Abraham Ortiz. And that is going to be strikeout number 5. And it's going to bring up J.P. Luna, the second baseman for the Knights. 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. 1 hit. 2 hits. And the seniors look good out there. They haven't hit him hard. Doesn't like the sign from Cueto, so he shakes him off. Finally gets one he likes. Brings it to the waist, and he fires and swung on and missed. J.P. Luna. Top of the third inning, 2 outs. This is probably going to be the last batter for Zach Fernandez, who is off to visit. And there's a ground ball up the middle. Aiden picks it up, fires to his left, and a grab by Chase Martinez at first for the 3rd out. And that's going to be it for the senior. The Knights are retired without any runners getting on base. And we'll be right back with more Killian Fall baseball as we step aside here from Cougar Stadium on the Florida Sports Programming Network.
You're watching Killian Cougar baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network.
Welcome back to Killian Cougar Field. You're watching fall baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network. Phoenix Medina from the right side, wearing number 16. He takes ball 1. In the dirt by Flowers. Alberto Franco still the catcher. Top of the 4th inning, and this is, bottom of the 3rd. The lefty Flowers throws a changeup that's taken by Phoenix. He hides the ball very well, Flowers. There's one in the dirt. Looked like another changeup. It's hard to pick up coming out of Flowers' hands, the way that he hides the ball in his delivery. He's got like a herky-jerky motion over to the plate. Stands on the left side of the rubber on the mound. He kicks, and there's one that gets by the third baseman, and that might be extra bases for the right fielder, Phoenix Medina. He a big wide turn, but he stays on first base, and that's going to be a leadoff base hit for Phoenix Medina, the right fielder. It's going to bring up number 5. Nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. A 1-0 ball game in favor of Keys Gate Charter. And we're at Killian Cougar Field, bringing you Killian Cougar fall baseball. Take strike 1 from the left-handed Flowers. Savion Flowers with Phoenix. There's a ball lifted in left center field in between the shortstop. It's going to be caught by Romero Martinez. That's going to be one out here, bottom of the third. He's going to bring up Eddie, the second baseman. Eddie Naranjo wearing 00. Savion Flowers is on the mound, and he looks at first and he goes over there, but Phoenix is back in time. That ball got away from the pitcher. The throw back from the first baseman. Didn't get away far enough for Medina to advance. But Bermuda's having a hard time finding the pitcher, only 70 feet away. And there's a nice pitch taken low by Eddie for a strike, and it looked like an off-speed pitch as well. Zorro's on deck for the Cougars, and there's another off-speed pitch by Flowers, and that one's taken high from Eddie. Coach Leon asked his team to get the lead off, to get base runners on. Medina did that, and there's a pick-up attempt by Alberto Franco at first base. But Medina gets back safely, but not before getting a dirty uniform. Eddie Naranjo is the batter, the second baseman. The umpires attending to first base. That got a little bit taken out of position with that dive back by Medina. Now they've fixed everything. Medina's brushing himself off, having a word with his coach, Abel Alonso, at first base. The veteran spent over 25 years at Florida Christian. Medina creeps off of first. Flowers, the left-handed batter, looks right at him, but he comes to the plate, and that's taken high, really close to being a strike by Eddie Naranjo, the second baseman. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Cougars are down by 1. It's the bottom of the third inning. It's fall baseball. Flowers throws one in the dirt, and it's stopped by Albert Franco. A good stop. Phoenix would have easily made it to second base, and that is ball 4. So Cougars on first and second, just what Coach Leon asked for. That's going to bring up number 21 with 1 out. Cougars on first and second. The lefty Flowers throws one, and that one's looped into right center field. Nobody's there. It drops in front of the right fielder, Abraham Ortiz. And here comes Phoenix. The right fielder bobbles the ball. Phoenix is going to score. Eddie's going to make it all the way to third, and we're going to have a tie ball game. And just what the doctor ordered, a run for the Cougars. So Phoenix's base hit pays off. He got a run. Eddie's base on ball, And a base hit by Zorro. No. A base hit by Eddie, and now brings up Zorro. All right. Naranjo in safely. Zorro with a chance here with one out. Runner on second base now for the Cougars to break this game open a little bit. Zorro from the left side. It's a lefty on lefty matchup, and Flowers kicks and throws one in the dirt. Another great stop by Alberto Franco, the catcher for the Knights. Zorro with a 2-1 count. Cougars with a man on second. The Knights with the infield hit, and there's a high pitch, and it's going to be ball four. The pitching coach for the Knights is going out there to take a look at, to talk to Flowers. And we're going to take this time to talk about some sponsors here at Cougar Field. Let's talk about the grilled wings at Sports Grill. Since 1987, known for their special grilled wings. And they're right down the street here from Killian, Miami Killian Senior High School, home of the Cougars. Eddie Ledesma's on second base. Zorro is on first by way of a walk. The pitcher for the Knights stays in the game, the left-handed Flowers. And he's pitching to the right-handed batter, Aiden, the shortstop. And boy, he really wanted that off-speed pitch. Took a check swing at it. There's one out. Flowers, the lefty for the Knights, throws high. Another great catch from Alberto Franco, the catcher for the Knights. So bases are loaded here for the Cougars. And Aiden takes another off-speed pitch in there for a strike. Seems like the ball's never going to get there. And it finds its way over the plate. They just can't pull the trigger. They're getting fooled by this pitch. Flowers is from the stretch, and he kicks, and that's a ball high. The batter is Aiden, the shortstop, wearing number 12 for the Cougars. And he has a chance to break open the game here. That one goes in the dirt. It's a full count here. Something's bound to happen. Hopefully it's something good for the Cougars. Bases are full of Cougars. That ball's hit in the air and foul ball. Out of play. Everybody's going to come back.
It's coming. I feel it.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah, we got a tie game here. There's the ball in the dirt, and that's going to be a walked-in run. With 2 strikes, the pitcher walks the batter. So So Acosta walks. The bases are going to stay loaded. It's a 2-1 game. The hometown Cougars have taken the lead for the first time since the first inning, and it's going to bring up the left-handed batter, the DH, Jonathan Acosta, wearing number 7. And that ball swung on and hit off the net for strike 1. An aggressive at-bat here for Jonathan Acosta. The chance to break the game open here. Flowers from the left side. There's one swung on it, driven in center field. Infante goes back. He goes back all the way to the wall, turns on it. He's going to tag. Here comes EJ to score. Eddie's going to go to second. That's going to be a sacrifice fly for Jonathan Acosta. And another run for the Cougars. With 2 outs and runners in the corners in a 3-1 ball game. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Ryan Yamba steps in and takes a ball high from the pitcher, Savion Flowers. Aiden creeping off first, and the left-handed pitcher stares him down. He could go here. He doesn't. He stays, and that's a called strike to Yambas. Zorro's at third. A big lead, and he goes, and the throw goes through. It gets cut off by the pitcher, who fires to third, and Eddie gets back in time. But a stolen base by Aiden. The pitcher cut off the throw from the catcher. And now we have Cougars on second and third. Not sure what the call was with the pitch. But you can tell that was a practice play, because Flowers, the pitcher, throws one low to Yambas, and he swings at that. Yambas with a chance here to break this game open. 3-1 now. Bottom of the 3rd. Flowers, the lefty, delivers. Yambas swings right through it, and he strikes out. But they got 2 hits. They got 2 runs, and the Cougars are ahead 3-1 as we head to the top of the 4th inning here at Cougar Field. It's the Florida Sports Programming Network bringing you Killian Cougar Fall Baseball.
You're watching the Florida Sports Programming Network.
My Uncle Mug's back for the Florida Sports Programming Network. We're down to 2 cameras. We have these 2 views. I'm trying to fix the camera behind home plate that I believe the signal has malfunctioned. So we have Jerry Martinez. New pitcher for the Cougars. I believe is Fonseca. No, it's not Fonseca. With one out, that's going to bring on Omar Mena. He hit a fly ball to second base the last time up. And with one out here, he's facing the new Cougar pitcher. So we can close the book on Zach Fernandez. Zach had 5 strikeouts, 2 hits, and 1 unearned run. That ball goes in the dirt to Mena. Bottom of the 4th inning, 3-1. Cougars are up. Michael Cueto still behind the plate. New pitcher on the mound for the Cougars of Killian. That fastball, looked like a strike. Fans are asking for a strike, but the umpire shook his head. The new pitcher for the Cougars kicks and swung on and missed. Strike 3 for Mena. That's 2 quick strikeouts for the new pitcher. This brings up the catcher, Albert Franco. Got an infield hit last time. He hit a dribbler right by Fernandez. Pitcher comes set and he deals, and swung on, maybe like a changeup, something off speed. But Albert Franco, the catcher, was way ahead of that one. 2 outs and 2 strikes. And we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Killian Cougars up 3. The Keysgate Charter Knights 1. And you're watching the Florida Sports Programming Network from Killian Cougar Field.
You're watching Killian Cougar Baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network.
Mugs back here to Cougar Field for fall baseball. It's a 4-3 game between the Keysgate Charter Knights and your Killian Cougars. And right now we have a man on second, runner on second for the Cougars. And in the likes of Zorro, who got an infield hit and then an error on the throw. They got him to second, and now Aiden's up, the shortstop. Trying to get this camera adjusted. There's plenty of daylight left, even though the shadows have taken over most of Killian Cougar Field. Runner on second is Zorro. And that ball's heading to right field. It's kind of misplayed by the right fielder who catches it on a hop. Ledesma is coming to second, and he's going to get held up there as the ball goes through the cutoff, and now he's coming home to make it a little security run. So it's 5-3 now for the Cougars. That's going to be a base hit by Aiden. Runner on second for the Cougars. This could be it. This could be the last inning when the Knights come up to bat. There's a ball taken down low. Keysgate Charter, the Knights against the Cougars of Miami Killian Senior High School here at Cougar Field. Uncle Muggs bringing you fall baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network. We've had a good game, a lot of pitching early on. The senior Zach Fernandez started as the ball taken. The left-handed Jonathan Acosta now batting. Aiden's on second. The DH. Zach Fernandez started the game. Antonio Vargas gave us one inning of perfect ball. And there's a drive right up the middle, and that may score. Coach Martinez is bringing him around. Aiden's going to score on a Jonathan Acosta base hit and an RBI. This game is starting to get a little bit out of control here. A solid base hit up the middle. That's going to bring in the third baseman, Ryan Yambas, who also pitches. We have runners on first. And that little number hit foul over first base, and it's going to stay foul and be strike one for Yambas. Acosta with a solid base hit and an RBI. Not sure who the pitcher is today for the Knights. Yamba steps in, and that ball's lifted into right field. Come up again. Again, misplayed it, but he made it back in time. It's Abraham Ortiz having some trouble out there. Maybe the wind. It's not that windy. All right, that's going to bring up Chase Martinez, playing some good first base today. Struck out his first time at bat. Flied out to center field. The Knight pitcher from the stretch. Acosta on first. He's got the sliding mitt on. I don't think they're going to send him to steal here with one out in the bottom of the fifth. Pitcher checks on Acosta at first. And there's a fastball taken for a strike by big Chase Martinez. First baseman. Cougars are going to lean on him this year for some power. He's a big boy coming in at least 6'2", 220. There's a fastball that's lifted, popped foul to the right side, and that's going to stay foul. 2 strikes on Martinez. New catcher for the Knights. A new pitcher. A new first baseman. And it's a 6-3 game. Knights slowly creeping in here at Cougar Field. The pitcher checks Acosta, takes a big lead, a delayed steal, and he's going to make it without a throw. Chase takes the ball low. And that was a delayed steal by Acosta. And now there's a Cougar in running position. In scoring position, sorry. Second baseman's creeping in. The pitcher comes to his waist and fires a fastball that's hit to the left side. And it gets by the third baseman, but called foul by the home plate umpire. Just past the diving Jesus Salazar over at third base for the Knights. 1 out, 2-2 count on Chase Martinez. The Cougar first baseman today wearing number 25. The DH, Jonathan Acosta's on second. He takes off for third. That ball's thrown by the catcher and it got him. Aetna, Senior Medicare Solutions, Sports Grill, been a longtime sponsor of Killian Cougar baseball. Wilson Leon, your attorney since 1963. Since 1966, Killian Cougars Senior High School has been in existence. Manager Chris Leon, Abel Alonso, with decades of experience. And Eric Martinez, who always does an excellent job having this Killian field looking like one of the best in Dade County. Jadon Haran is the new pitcher. We've seen him in right field. Left-handed pitcher for the Cougars in the 6-3 ball game here at Cougar Field. Jean-Michael Cueto has gone the distance behind the plate, and Hernan swings. The batter swings. Carlos Infante. Sorry, this is J.P. Luna. J.P. Luna takes strike one for the Knights. Nice fastball there, and it swung on and fouled straight back for strike two. Jaden Herron, the left-hander, pretty effective on the mound. Hides the ball well, gets it to the plate quick enough to help this Cougar team this year. They're going to need a lot of good arms. Now Herron comes from the stretch, throws one in the dirt. It gets by Cueto. It's ball one. 2 balls and 1 strike with no one out. Big out here in the top of the 6th inning. This is the last inning. Last chance for the Knights. Keys Gate Charter Knights. Herron with a pitch that swung on, and that's fouled. Fouled up by the hands and caught a piece of the catcher too. Cueto's shaking his hand a little bit. Walks around, picks up his helmet. And that's got to hurt. Catches you on the bare hand like that. No protection on the hand. Abraham Ortiz is the batter, followed by J.P. Luna and Luis Aguilar for the Knights, and swung on. And that's going to be a strikeout. It's tagged by Cueto. Actually, Cueto dropped that one. Popped out of the mitt. Now he's going to go out and have a word with his pitcher. Jaden Herron also plays right field. He's a good leadoff batter. Cougars are going to need his leadership if they want to extend past their district championship this year, maybe go to regionals or a state, for head coach Chris Leon. Abraham Ortiz steps in with 2 strikes. Nobody out, top of the 6th inning. Wow, and that ball's taken. Good eye there by Abraham Ortiz. And there it is, strike 3. For the second time, Ortiz strikes out looking today. It's going to bring up J.P. Luna with 1 out here. J.P. Luna grounded to the shortstop. And now he took that one inside. Almost got hit by that pitch. Cueto asking his pitcher here to calm down a little bit, giving him both hands down. Calm down. Herndon comes set. And that one's in the dirt. And that one's hit in the hole, 5-6 hole, just past the shortstop for a base hit. So base hit, Luna's on first for the Knights. It's 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning, and that's going to bring up the leadoff batter, Luis Aguilar. He struck out his last at-bat, and before that he flied out to right field. Antonio Vargas struck him out looking. Second at-bat. Now with the man on first. Herndon, the left-hander. Aguilar, the right-hander. And there's one hit right over the shortstop's head. Cut off by the center fielder Zorro, who brings it in and holds the runner to second base. So J.P. Luna, back-to-back hits here for the Knights off of the lefty. Herron left that ball a little bit high. It's going to bring up Omar Medina, who's struck out against Vasquez his last time up. And he flied out to the second baseman. And he's got a chance to do some damage here on a 6-3 game with the Cougars up. Jaden Herron, the sun is setting behind him. He steps off here in Cougar Field. Cueto screams out some instructions to the infield. Yambas is on third. Aiden is on second. And the pitch from Herndon is taken for a ball. Omar Mena, the batter. Second baseman around. Oh, that ball gets by Cueto. No chance for him to catch that one. Goes all the way to the bricks. And now the Knights are going to have runners on second and third. As Herron was sent in to close this one up, and he seems to be having a little bit of trouble. That was ball 4 to Mena. He's going to have a pinch runner. It's going to bring out Franco Alonso, who swings at strike 1. There's a fastball for strike 2 with 1 out. Jaden really reaching back here. He kicks and he deals, and that one's hit softly in the right center field. The runner's going back to tag. Phoenix makes the catch, and the throw home is going to be in time, and it's going to be a double play, and that's how the Cougars win. The Cougars win. Finally, the tag on him. Wait, he got... Okay, I guess Chase dropped the ball. So that's going to be a sacrifice for Anthony that came in to pinch hit for Franco Alonso. So that was a sac fly. It's 6-4. That fastball's taken for a ball. The ball clearly beat the runner to home plate. And Cueto put the tag on him. The bat was dangerously in front of home plate. There's another ball taken. 6-4. Keys Gate Charter Knights on second and third with 2 outs in the final inning, the top inning. 3-0 to the batter. First base is open. He can walk him and load up the bases, but Cueto's going to come out and talk to his lefty, the senior, Jaden Heron. He's got himself into a little bit of trouble here. Had a strikeout early, a fly ball to right field, which we thought ended the game with the catch him and throw him out. The 3-0 count to the batter, and he takes strike one. He's not giving up. Now it's a hitter's count, 3-1 to the right-handed batter for the Knights. 6-4 game. Runners on second and third for the Knights. 2 outs. Deep breath by Herndon. And that one's fouled back, and the count is now full. And we got a good ending here at Cougar Field with your Killian Cougars are up 2 runs here in the last inning, and they're looking for one more strike to end it. And Herndon swings at it, fouls it back. Three and 2 the count to the batter for the Knights. 6-4 is the score. 2 runners are on base. First base is open. The lefty, Jaden Herndon, fires and deals, and taking strike 3, and that's it. That's the ball game. The Cougars win. The Cougars win. They're going to come out and shake hands here because we're running out of light. And that's going to be it for the Cougars and the Knights from Cougar Field. It's been Uncle Muggs bringing you Killian Cougar Fall Baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network. We hope you enjoyed the coverage. We'll be back Friday with another home game. Pause up, everyone. Another win for the home team. And head coach Chris Leon and Abel Alonso take home another win here at Killian Cougar Field. I'm Uncle Muggs with the Florida Sports Programming Network, and it's been my pleasure bringing you Killian Cougar Fall Baseball. Pause up, everyone.
You're watching Killian Cougar Baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network.